Catherine, and this is Vulcat's Kitchen. Now, in Vulcat's Kitchen, we love to try new things and to explore new tastes. So today, our exploration takes us kind of into a Latin area with still some traditional roots. So we're gonna make a mango salsa. So we're going to start with looking at the ingredients and see what kind of exotic flavors we will discover. So first we have the star, the one and only, the Angelina Jolie of the kitchen. We have the mango. So we have one mango. Now we have a little bit of kick that I like to add to a lot of my cooking because it always adds a unique taste, the red onion. Then we also have the color profiles of the bell pepper. We have yellow, red, green. Sometimes you can add orange into it, just anything to make it more colorful, and it will still taste good as well. Then we have the secret weapon that no one ever sees coming, but you'll know when you taste it. It's the jalapeno, Then we have lemon and lime juice to add a little more taste and to add some new depth to the mango salsa. And then from my garden right outside is the green onion that I like just to add. Sometimes you can also add cilantro to it, but today we're not going to add cilantro. So I'm hungry. I hope that you're hungry. So let's start cooking. Along with the mango, we're going to clean up this red onion. We're just going to cut the top off with any kind of regular knife, and also the bottom because they're not going to be necessary in this cooking process. Also, the first and second layer, you don't usually eat those. I know that I've never had to eat them. So we're just going to peel them off all the way around, and later we're going to cut them into little layers, and then we're going to chop them nice and fine. Also what we're going to do is we have these bell peppers and we're not going to eat the stems here, and also the seeds inside are not necessary. So we're going to use a knife like this that has some nice grooves on it to make the process a lot faster and easier for you. And we're going to cut it nicely around the edge, crack it open and take the seeds out and cut it into maybe about 1 centimeter thick strips. And then later we're going to chop it into cubes. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Lastly, we're going to take this jalapeno, kind of a similar process. We don't want the end here. We definitely don't want the seeds, because those seeds, I once had one and I thought my mouth was gonna get on fire, but thankfully I had a lot of water near me. Anyway, we take out the seeds and then we cut even into thinner strips this jalapeno right here, because a little really goes a long way. So now we're finally ready to cook, because as you can see, everything is chopped up. Onion, don't worry, I know you're getting antsy in there on your side of the computer screen or TV screen or wherever you're watching me from. We're gonna cut this later. Okay, so first what we're gonna do is start with cutting this mango. Now, surprisingly enough, this used to be what we saw previously, but this is how the inside of a chopped up mango looks like. And if you did this correctly, then you'd be looking at a mirror image right now. So what we're gonna do is cut into nice little cubes. Since this is a salsa, we want this to be chip friendly. So what we're gonna do is we're going to cut them into pieces about this size, maybe a little bit. Okay, onion, taking up too much of the limelight. Let's go over here. Okay. Okay, so we're pretty much almost done here. Last little pieces. Okay, finally the whole mango is done. So now what we're gonna do is move this little over here, move this guy over here, and the fun part, it's like pixie dust. Okay, So now that the mango part of the mango salsa is done, now we're gonna do the salsa part. No, we're not gonna salsa, I'm sorry, I'm not a great dancer. Okay, so we're just gonna move everything over here because I feel way too cramped in this corner. Okay, I'm gonna keep this bowl over here in sight, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves now. So, let me first roll up my sleeves because we're cooking here.
I'm confused.
So we're gonna move everything we're cutting right now, the bell peppers, over to this thing. So this will be our cutting station and this will be our waiting room. So we're gonna start with some yellow peppers. And what we're gonna do is kind of a similar notion of what this mango salsa was doing. We're gonna do, you can use either this knife or this knife. Let's just try this one, see where it goes. If not, we can always change it. This nice groovy one over here. So what I do is cut pieces, nice just on the edge, put this down here. This way, you want to always hold on to this so it doesn't slip anywhere and you don't want to have any issues with it. And about little cubes, like I said before. We don't want to be, not too perfect because each crunch should be different, I think.
Sound with the sound of speed, machine guns ready to go. Are you ready? Hey!
And so we're gonna throw it the same way for mango, and pretty much for all the other ingredients, we're going to throw it in the same very technically advanced manner of tossing it into the bowl with flair, panache, finesse, whatever word you like to use.
I want to break free!
Okay, so now we're going to take the green. We have enough room. Let's take the red too. Some Christmas colors going on over here. Little contrast. Just gonna throw. I just toss them in there because I want to show a little bit of how the color's gonna look like when we do this. So, just so you know.
Are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Out of the doorway, the bullets rip to the sound of the beat, yeah!
You know what? You guys are probably pretty bored of watching me doing this. When we'll come back, this will all be done, and well, you can just pause your computer or your TV or whatever you're doing, and we'll come back and we'll start working on that devil over here and over here, if you know what I'm saying. Phew. That was a lot of work, but I think it's definitely worth it. Look at it. As I added the greens, like we usually do, and the yellows and the reds, look how nice this color looks. Look, underneath we got the yellows, they're still here, a little bit. We got the red, we got the greens. It's a beautiful color thing. And like I said, especially for any kind of party, this is a really big party favorite. Okay, so now we're gonna do the little devil, I would like to say. I like calling it. Now we're gonna do this in really small. And even if you think you cut it, you're like, this is too small. No, it has to be small. The smaller, the better. And we're not really gonna have to use the whole jalapeno, depending on your spice preference. I personally like maybe using about half of it or so. And then you'll leave some for the next one you make, I guess. And I love using jalapeno lately. I never really knew a lot about jalapeno, but then I started, observing more types of cooking techniques and everything. And it was a really big popular thing. Every single recipe I'd see would say jalapeno, jalapeno, jalapeno. And I tried it. I think this was actually the first salad that I used with jalapeno. The salsa, excuse me. The first salsa. So, and I tried it and I thought it was absolutely wonderful. And now in almost everything that I cook, I use jalapeno. It's a little crazy, but I enjoy it.
Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the...
Alright, so now we're going to do my favorite technique. Everybody drum roll. Woo! Jalapeno is in. Now, we're also going to do a little bit of this onion in a second. Okay, so now this red onion. Don't worry guys, I know you're a little scared thinking, are we going to use the whole thing? We're not using the whole thing, maybe just about 4 layers. Now here's the big knife. This knife I like it because it has these little, I don't know if you can see these little ovals around here. Makes it nice and sharp. So what I'm going to do is just slowly, nicely go through it. Have a nice grip on the onion too, so that it doesn't slip or anything. And nice thin little ones, because we're going to have also kind of almost the same size as the jalapeno, maybe like a little bit bigger pieces. Let's see. is our fourth layer. Okay, put this guy to the side. He's not going to be needed now for a little bit. I'm sorry, onion. Okay, so now what you do is cut it in half, and then the little rings might start to come off a little bit, and then you just want to cut them into little cubes.
Dust, and another one gone, and another one gone, another one.
Now we're done with this red onion. It might take a little bit of time, and sometimes what I'm doing is doing a little bit of this kind of motion just to chop it up, because, like I said, probably 50 times and you're tired of hearing me say this, but we don't have to be perfect here. So now, again, I slide this in here. Nice to get everything in there. Now you can see we're starting to see a little bit more of the rainbow going on here. We've got our purples, we got our greens, our every color. Now, the last thing we're going to finely chop is these green onions. Now, I got these from the garden. You can get them pretty much any supermarket in the vegetable area. They're here, green onions. And what we're going to do is chop them nice and finely. This knife works really well because it's nice sharp. You want a nice sharp knife for this, and cut into little thin pieces. And then once you keep going and going, you've probably worked with green onions before. You don't really want to use the ends of them. I just always learned that you should never really use the tips of the green onion. You start from the bottom and you work your way up, and maybe leave off like 3 inches or so off of the top. And you just throw that out or recycle or whatever you do with your herbs when you don't need them. Also, green onion tastes really good with this. I like also cilantro to go with this. Parsley always works. I know my mother always tells me, because we have an herb garden in my backyard, and she always says really that herbs are always kind of like the finishing touch, almost like herbs. I think that also my experience, that herbs are always kind of that you taste it and it's like that profile, you don't really know like what it is, but it's that green thing that is magic. So I'm gonna cut this up, and then we're gonna do the final touches. Okay, so then our last little throw in here. Okay, good. Now it's gonna be our little kind of dressing. Lemon and lime. They're like the key, like the magic. I love lime, I love lemon. They're good, in drinks, to just drink if maybe like you just want some vitamin C or whatever. So I have this little thing that you squeeze it on top, but it's cool because it has a little filter inside it that it kind of filters out all the pulp and the seeds, what you don't want. So what we're gonna do, you need about, I think, 2 tablespoons of lime is good, 1 tablespoon of lemon. Lime's kind of predominantly in this, so we're gonna cut these in half. They smell delicious. And then let's start with lime first. So we're just gonna squeeze in this motion. Good to work up your upper body, seriously. Okay, once you think that's done, leave it to the side, and the next section. I'm already tired. Okay, that's about good. Yeah, it's about right. Alright, just pop it off. Okay, and swish it in. Now, I'm gonna take a little bit of, you don't have to wash it out because lemon and lime, they're best friends. They've been through it all. So I'm gonna have a little bit of lemon. Lemon's a little bit less in this, but it still lends a helping hand. Okay, a little bit more. Not too much more though. That looks about right. Okay. Whew, a little dripping, but we got this in here. Okay, so now put these to the side. This to the side to be washed later, because cleaning process is the most tedious, but the most important. Alright, so then we got a little bit of, let's see, salt and pepper. Salt and pepper are always it's like the obvious things you always do. And it always, you might think like you taste it, you say, there's no salt and pepper in here, but there is. It's just working its magic secretly. Just a little bit of salt, not too much. Pepper's delicious. Okay, and next we're going to mix, which is probably one of my favorite parts. Okay, so I just just ran over to my pantry to get the Tostitos chips, scoops, that I love using to scoop this. And I know all of you out there are like, yay, some food that I know. Well, I'm going yay with you too. Also, I got, you guessed it, the fork and the spoon to scoop this and to mix it around. So, ready? Da-da-da-da. Alright, we're gonna mix this around together. Make a little noise, but hey, it means that it's working. That looks about right. Let's see. What do you think? Does this look right? Yeah, I think so too. Okay, maybe just a little bit of pepper, because in my family, we're a pepper family. Salt is cool, but pepper's cooler. Just a little more mixing, more mixing. And of course, if you feel like you have the urge to add something else too, this salsa is very versatile and very flexible and open to new friends. So now, the best part, especially for me, because I've been waiting to eat this for as long as you've been watching this. So I'm ready to scoop and taste. It's very tangy, a little bit acidic, but enough acidic. It's spicy. And I still taste those peppers are very predominant. But you still taste a little bit of that mango. Depends on how much you scoop in. Like depends. Like I said, each scoop is different. You can have a lot of pepper, a little pepper. I like mixing it up all together, taking a little bit of discovery in here. But I'm definitely gonna eat this whole bowl, and my parents might be hungry when they get home, but too late because I would have already eaten it all. So, well, I guess that's it. So, thank you for joining me on this adventure of cooking, making, whatever you like to call this mango salsa. Now, I'm gonna go salsa away.